Good morning, this is Sheila from mycardstockcreations.com, and today I am gonna be showing you how I did the cover on this junk journal mini album. And I did do a video on this, and on the inside cover there's 3 pockets here, and there's a big pocket underneath. Then in the middle there's a signature, a junk journal signature that's removable because I have an elastic. And then over here is my waterfall. And I think the video I'm going to show you my pocket waterfalls, and that's my own original idea. So let's get started. Okay. So for the front and back covers, you will need 2 pieces of chipboard, and here I have the this heavy chipboard that I actually got from an artist pad. So when you go to the store and you get, like, say, watercolor papers and stuff, sometimes they have a real nice back, and I always save them because they make good covers. So for the front and back cover, you will need 2 pieces of chipboard that measure 5.5 by 9. And then for the spine, I actually have 2 pieces of the spine, because one's for the outer spine and one's for the inner spine. And for the outer spine, you need 1 piece at 2 inches by 9. And then the inner spine, you're going to need one that measures 1.75 by 9 inches. And the inner spine, if you watch my other video, you know what I'm talking about, but no problem if you don't, you'll figure it out now. So first I am going to attach my covers to my outer spine, and you can do this 2 ways. Like, I sometimes use masking tape just to give it a little extra security, or you can even use this decorative tape, any decorative tape. And I'm gonna try to use this and see what happens. I know I had on my other one I used a brown one. This is a gray one, and I picked this up at Michael's for like $1.50 in their reduced bin. Alright, so let's get started. Alright, so what I do, I just kind of lay down. Actually, I think I'm going to do it this way. Alright, I lay down my spine and I eyeball it. You can actually put a piece of chipboard in between to get your width. I just kind of leave it like it's almost like 1/8 of an inch. You can do it a little bit more if you like, but alright. So then once you got it laid down, if I can get this tape started, I should have tried to start it before I started the video. Alright, whoops. Alright, so, oops, figures that moved some. Maybe a good idea is to tape down your pieces so they don't move. Alright, so I'm just gonna kind of, do I really want to do that with this piece? You know what, I think I don't want to do that. I think I'm going to use my masking tape for now, and later on I can cover it. Let's see. You can also lay down some glue if you like. Alright, so I'm just going to lay that down. and just cut off the excess. You can always use that, what is it called? Tef bag? Tef? I can't remember. But those bags that you get from, the post office. Tide bag, I think it's called. You can actually use that too. Alright, so now I'm going to lay down my other side. And once you do this, you know, you're going to cover it anyway, so you can use a decorative tape or paper. Oops. Once you start decorating. I'm sorry if I keep going out of frame here. I know it's been a while since I did a video like this, but I've been really busy with swaps, and some days I haven't felt good. I'm having a lot of problems with my neck and shoulder, and I'm finally gonna go see a surgeon, and I don't know if I'm looking at surgery, but some days I just haven't felt like doing much. So I apologize for not getting right back with videos. I will have the measurements in the comments or the description box below. I have no clue why those scissors are giving me such a hard time. They're just not cutting right. I think it's time to get a new set of scissors. Oh my goodness. Alright, so now that will give you good security, you know, for your spine. Okay, so that's that. Make sure it folds good both ways, and it does. Okay, so now you can go ahead and add your decorative paper. I chose this printed paper. It's kind of like a grayish, yellowish, I don't know, purple. There's some purple in there, so I chose that for my front and back cover. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take... Okay, where did I put it? Oh, it's under here hiding. I'm just gonna, I'm not covering the whole thing. I'm just, like, say right up to where this tape is. Lay down some, is this working? How come this isn't working? Okay, I did something wrong here. Something's not right. It's like all my tape is getting stuck up here. Yeah. Wonder why that happened. Did you ever get some of this tape? I'll tell you, one time I went to use it and it was on, the tape was on the wrong side. It was really weird. I never had that happen to me, but it must have happened, of course, from the manufacturer. So I had to bring it back. That was really weird how that happened. And I'm also going to add some glue. I always like to add glue too because it gives you a little leeway to lay down your paper. So now I'm just going to turn this way and just kind of eyeballing it. rubbing the excess tape. I'm just going to use this to burnish it. Get that glue spread out everywhere. Okay, so now I'm just going to trim the paper. I'm going to do this in 2 parts. I'm going to decorate the cover, and then I'm going to come back on another video, separate video, and do the pockets and stuff, because it's just easier to upload, and that way you can take your time and do your cover and, you know, not have to worry about getting everything done all at once. Alright, okay, so now I'm just going to use some glue. Lay that down. I have no clue where my bone folder is at the moment. I think it's mixed up with some other craft items. You know how you clean up and you just put everything whatever? I think I misplaced it and I haven't found it yet. Someday I'll go out and buy another one. Just gonna wipe down that excess glue. And fold in that corner right there. I hope you all have been having a nice summer. Oh, look what I just did. Oops. I haven't really done much this summer. I just haven't been in the mood to do anything. I used to love going hiking and stuff, but oops. I don't know why this paper is just tearing up, but that's okay. Alright, so that's that side. I really like that paper. I've had it for a while. Alright, so now I'm going to check. I'm just checking the camera because sometimes it turns off on me and I don't realize it until I'm like so far ahead and I'm like, oh my god, now I got to start all over. Someday I'll get one of those flip cameras that where I can see, instead of having to stand up to look at the camera, I can actually see if it's still on or not. Alright, so alright, now lay that down. Now, I just started getting into the junk journal scene, and I decided I wanted a junk journal mini album. So, I think that's a perfect little combination. I really enjoy the junk journal aspect of it. And I finally realized I like grungy journals. The grungier the better, you know, the older looking and dark looking. So I'm really enjoying learning everything I can about them. And I joined a couple of groups. One's called, what is it? Junk Journal Junkies, I think it's called. That's a new group I just joined. But there's tons a junk journal, any kind. You know, you go on Facebook, you can find any kind of group. Good, bad, any subject. It's amazing. And I was doing one swap with a lady, and when we're exchanging addresses, we've realized we live 5 minutes away from one another. I thought that was so awesome. So when we do swaps, we just meet somewhere and exchange our things. I think that's so cool. Okay, so that's the front and back cover. Now I decided I was going to do purple for my spine. I'm just measuring where I need to cut it. Oops. Just going to trim a little bit. Now the paper I'm using is regular cardstock, 8 by 11, 8.5 by 11. Alright, so now I'm just going to lay down some glue. And you notice I'm not going all the way to the edge because that's going to wrap around the other side. So now I'm standing up because I can eyeball it better. Try to get it even. That looks good. Glue. Oops. And let's see, where's my ruler? I need a ruler. I'm using my ruler because I don't have the bone thing, but gently I'm making a little crease here where the journal folds. This side. Again, I'm going to use my ruler just to make a little indent where the cover folds. Just try not to, you don't want it to tear if you can help it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. See. And see, it's even coming up on this side, which I do not like that. I don't know why it is doing that. Why is it doing that? I have no clue. I'm not having much luck with this paper at the moment. For some reason it keeps coming up. So, I don't know why it is doing it. I almost forgot one step. the inner spine for this album. I cut it 1 3/4 inches by 9 inches. It's a little bit skinnier than the outer spine because you don't want it to interfere when you're closing the book. So what I do, if you're familiar with travel notebooks, they have an elastic system so that you are able to remove the books from it. And yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna make 2 holes, 2 here for eyelets. So I really don't measure mine. You can measure yours if you like. What I'm gonna do probably is just put a straight line across so I know where my holes should be. You don't want them too close to the edge. So about maybe 1/4 inch on either side. And I'm probably gonna go in 1/4 inch on either side to make the holes for the eyelet. Excuse me, and I'm using my big bite, I guess that's what they call it. So actually on here there's like this little ruler, if you can see. I kind of line up my piece of cardboard so it's like even with here, and that way you can judge, you know, make sure that your piece where you're cutting is even. So there's one, and then I'm going to do the same, turn it over and do the same on the other side, and do the same at the other end. Okay, so now we have our holes. So let's see. I'm going to use the copper. I guess I'll use some copper ones this time. Alright, so let's change this to... Okay, so let's do this. I always have trouble with these. I still haven't quite figured out how to use these. It's so funny. I should go online and watch a video, but alright, so now you want to put it up. Add your eyelets. And because this is thicker, this is really thick cardboard, sometimes the eyelet doesn't fold down over it correctly. And this one I can't even get in for some reason. But so you're going to add your 4 eyelets on either end. And sometimes I will even take a pair of pliers or something like this, just to like squeeze them a little more. Do it by hand. Alright, good enough. Okay. So now I'm going to use this gold elastic. I got a whole bunch of this. Found it at a thrift shop or something. So I threaded each end through, and then I just tie a knot as tight as you can get it, but you don't want it too tight. I kind of go a little tight, just to, you don't want it too loose. And then make a knot, and then I make one more knot, and then cut the excess off, and then do the same for the other one. I actually tried to use just like string for this, but there's no leeway, and you actually need a little give when you put notebooks, like if you know what a travel notebook is, you need it the elastic so it's flexible. Alright. Okay, so now what I do is take just some regular tape. You can use masking tape too. And I just tape the knots down a little, just so that they're kind of out of the way. Alright, so now to attach this inner spine, to attach this to here, I actually use some foam tape and glue. First I lay down the foam tape. Oops, almost cut my finger. That wouldn't be good. So because this is a bigger spine, I'm actually going to use 2 pieces of this foam tape. Okay. I just find that using this makes it a little bit easier to attach it to the outer spine. My fingers. This stuff's really sticky. Oops. Come on. Okay. So I'm also going to add some glue. Because you want to make sure your inner spine attaches very well. So now you lay this, make sure it's in the middle. And what I'm going to do is, I have this big dictionary, a heavy dictionary. I'm actually going to lay it right on top and let it, I probably will leave it there all day, and maybe tomorrow take it off. And for the books, let me go grab one of the other ones real quick. This is actually from another junk journal album, which I will be doing a video soon for this. But what I did was measure how long these are, and you don't want your book to be like right at here, so you want to go a little bit smaller. So from hole to hole, it's almost 8 inches. So you want to make your book like, say, 7 and maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 eighths. 7 and 6 eighths or 5 eighths. 7 and 5 eighths, that's good. You make your cover 7 5/8, and then your pages you might want to do a little bit tinier. And then I usually do maybe like 5 to 10 pages for each booklet. It depends on how much stuff you want to put in. I advise to use lesser pages if you want to put more ephemera and decorations, because I actually had to take some pages out of my other book because it was too bulky. So this, we're going to let this set overnight and make sure that it's stuck down. If you have any questions, as before, just leave them in the comments and I'll try to get them answered as quick as I can. And like I said, I'll have a link to my Facebook pages. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit the like button, and if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to my channel. And I thank you so much for watching, and you have a wonderful day.